you always had to do long Vajrasattva. So we do 7 long Vajrasattva just to place ourselves in the moment. And then I won't talk too much, but just maybe to clarify a few things. Take a breath in, please. Releasing out in the visualization of Doji Simpa above our head. Blessing, cleansing, purifying, and liberating all of time and space, and all that arises and dwells and cease within that, we could say, quantum dimension of coming into being and dwelling and ceasing. Cleanse and including oneself. You go to the car wash, you go to the body wash, the mind wash, the speech and breath wash. We go to the ignorance wash, and we come out purity. Sudogaya Mabova, Zubogaya Mabova, Hanarado Mabova, Zawazidi, Mibrea, Zamatu, Zarada, Ramani, Muzovan, Debo, Samaya, Sabuva, Paduzada, Zamaya, Manobalaya, Padrazanova, the Mabova, Sudogaya Mabova, Zubogaya Mabova, Hanarado Mabova, Zawazidi, Mibrea, Zamatu. Sudam Zirum Guru, Bhagavan, Savada, Mani Muzovan, Debo, Samaya, Sadua, Paduzada, Zamaya, Manobalaya. Baduzada, Nova, Dedu, Mabova, Sudogaya, Mabova, Zubogaya, Mabova, Hanarado, Mabova, Savazidi, Mibrea, Zara. Sudam Zirum Guru, Bhagavan, Savada, Mani Muzovan, Debo, Samaya, Sadua, Paduzada, Zamaya, Manobalaya, Paduzada, Nova. Dedu, Mabova, Sudogaya, Mabova, Zubogaya, Mabova, Hanarado, Mabova, Savazidi, Mibrea, Zara. Sudam Zirum Guru, Bhagavan, Savada, Ramani Muzovan, Debo, Samaya, Sadua, Paduzada, Zamaya, Mano. Badruzadu Nenoba, Dedu, Mabova, Sudogaya, Mabova, Sudogaya, Mabova, Hanarado, Mabova. So was it in the prayer that Saranamazudam, Siddham Guru, Bhagavan, Sadagata Badramani Muzovan, the Poama, Samaya, Sadua, Badruzada, Samaya, Manobadaya, Badruzadu Denoba, Dedu, Mabova, Sudogaya, Mabova, Sudogaya, Mabova, Hanarado, Mabova. So was it in the prayer that Saranamazudam, Siddham Guru, Bhagavan. Sadagada Badramani Muzovan, the Poama, Samaya, Sadua, Badruzada, Samaya, Manobadaya. Badruzadu Denoba, Dedu, Mabova, Sudogaya, Mabova, Sudogaya, Mabova, Hanarado, Mabova. So was it in the prayer that Saranamazudam, Siddham Guru, Bhagavan. Saradata Badramani Muzovan, the Poama, Samaya, Sadua, Badruzada, Samaya, Manobalaya, Badruzadu Denova, Dedu, Mabova, Sudogaya, Mabova. Sudogaya, Mabova, Hanarado, Mabova, so was it in the prayer that Saranamazudam, Siddham Siddham Guru. Bhagavan, Saradata Badramani Muzovan, the Poama, Samaya, Satu. And take a breath in, releasing out. Again, I say good day, good morning to everyone. Then preparing this morning, again, having the thought, I will make this a wonderful day. I will make this a pleasant day. I will make this a peaceful day. I will reach beyond the confines of my limited thinking of my own ego-centered, self-cherishing self. And what little merit or blessings may have come through me through great masters, I impart to others so that they may find peace and happiness and pleasantness in this day also. And then as I was thinking, in the breath I have taken in and the breath I have taken out, how many have suffered, how many have died, how many have lost. And for all of those May they now be blessed. May they have happiness. May their suffering cease at some level. May they acquire and get what they need. If they do not have it at this moment, may it be coming to them with speed. Why are we so self-centered, only thinking about ourselves? On several occasions, I've heard people say, I am in isolation. I'm in not isolation. You are not in isolation. You are not in quarantine. You are not in doing social distance. You are in retreat. You have been blessed. You have an opportunity to practice beyond the rest. You think that you are cut off, but no, really, you're more connected. Before you were cut off and did not know, you were disconnected. You'll have to excuse me. It is so funny though. There's a certain absurdity to it. You will have the opportunity now to retreat, to practice. I wanted to be in retreat, not in isolation. In fact, this is a loose retreat. It's almost no retreat. Seeing people, talking to people. Now I am doing this. If I am in real retreat, I don't see you. I don't talk to you. I don't see anyone. I only practice, practice, practice. And then sleeping. So also in eating, too much sleeping, eating, and doing the other things. Now you have an opportunity. Take advantage of the opportunity. You should relish and cherish this moment. It may not come again. I hope it does not come again in this fashion, but for sure, something will come that we will have to contend. But we should know how to be with ourselves, how to look within, how to discover the essence, the divine essence that resides in each and every one of us at this very moment. Walking down the lane last night, I walked from the light into the darkness. And then I heard myself say as a child, yea, through I walk through the valley of darkness, I fear no evil as I look for the shadows that are the demons that arise from my own mind. It doesn't say that in terms in the Christian scriptures, but I take them and I anoint them and I expand them and play with them to fit the needs of our belief systems, which are no different than anyone else. So anyway, these are the type of thoughts that I hope you would entertain also. And oh, I'm in retreat. This is so wonderful. I get to practice. I get to do so for the benefit of others. So please don't use this word. You're not in quarantine. You're not in isolation. This is a blessing of the Buddhas, blessing of the Bodhisattvas, blessing of the Gurus. I have spoken with Chinjo Rinpoche, contact Choga Rinpoche, Dubsen Rinpoche, Lama Daura Rinpoche, Kanjong Mother Rinpoche. At least I can think of these five. Lama Andreas, all are saying the same thing. They go, oh, this is wonderful. We like vacation. Because we have prepared. You should have prepared. I told you this moment of coming, this moment of the Kali Yuga, the moment of darkness. Again, people are using the word, the apocalypse, this old ancient word, the awakening. This is the time of the awakening. And it is the darkened times, but there have been much darker times in which we are presently experiencing, and there will be darker times. But we have an opportunity at hand to bring the light into the darkness, that we know how to walk into the shadows. We know how to find that the light is truly within, whether we're in the light or the dark, that the light is always within. The divine essence lies within us. The darkness is arising only from our perceptions. We have darkened our own consciousness with our fabrication, and we don't no longer wish to see. But now we're being asked, stop looking out, but look within thee, and you will see that all you so desire in peace and the happiness and all the wonderful things that we seemingly think we have missed, that we will really come to understand that they were always right here. We were the ones amiss, therefore we did not see the treasures that we already had with our own selves that we could share with others and give to thee. This is what my mind says as I walked down the lane last night. It just comes to me like this. I don't even have to look to make the sight. I can sort of see the shadows dancing in the woods as I was going through the hills, not the hills. I was in the mountains in 14,000 feet in Bhutan, and we could see the shadows and the spirits dancing about. And they asked me, can you see the shadows? Can you see the spirits? And I go, sure, everybody can see those. It's like a small child. So again, invoke your small child and learn how to play. Be with yourself. And Mother Rep would say, don't delay. Why you fret? Why you are afraid? Open your heart and go forth into the fray with loving kindness, compassion, joy, equanimity, and compassion, starting with ourselves. Take a breath in, please. Breathing out. So again, just a thought is, so for some maybe watching this, I don't know, that in one way, puja, and we could say puja meaning the ritual action. So the action is for puja, maybe from the Sanskrit, to engage in an action that is meritorious for the benefit of others and self. And then I thought, as we've already said, puja is something like going to, if we go to a Catholic mass. Now you can pretty much bet, maybe there are a few people who speak Latin or understand various aspects of it, or maybe there are some who really do understand how mass proceeds. I always watch the mass and see the correlation between puja and between mass. But it's not so much whether you understand. We as Westerners, but not just Westerners, I think it's human nature. We want to have a sense of understanding of the experience in which we find ourselves in. Except when we wish to seek an understanding of the experience we're having, then we have created a dichotomy. We are separate from that experience. We become the watcher of the subject or the object. So the subject watches the object and misses being totally present in the experience. So even in Tibet, even in Nepal, even in India, I know there are many people who they know every word, every gesture, every symbolization of what is occurring. But there are many people that doesn't matter. The important thing is that they are present. So for this hour and however long, 45 minutes, 50 minutes, just allow yourself to be present. And for me, part of what's happening now is this great awakening of how to be present with ourselves. It's as though we have lost that ability, which is still there, is to be present in our own essence. It has become a foreign entity. We are foreign to ourselves. And therefore, we feel we're separated. We feel we're isolated, that we cannot connect to each other. It's like when I talk to my teachers and I ask them, please bless me, please think of me. They said, that is always occurring. We are always thinking of you. We're always directing blessings to you. The moment you think of us, the moment you say our name, we are connected. So do it and practice that way. We are always connected. When we can meet in person again, we have never stopped meeting from the beginning. We have always been connected. You are only thinking about the limitation of the small, minuscule existing in time of space in this life. How many lives, how many eons, how many kalpas have we existed? We cannot remember. If we could remember, then our small brain that is trying to conceive, would probably blow up. So we are always connected, like anyone who thinks of me, anyone who sees me, anyone who touches me, anyone who I touches, I speak their name, they speak my name. May they always be blessed with loving kindness and compassion. May their troubles fall away, and may happiness and joyousness bloom like the flower in their heart forever and forever. And from that, may they never part. So this is how we should think. You have the wonderful opportunity now to study, to contemplate, to practice, and to integrate. Then one Lama Gelik, he says, now you understand impermanence and death. It has always been at hand. We have fooled ourselves, eluded ourselves, and looked away. We have thought we could escape and go and play for another day, but we cannot because the truth is in front of our face for us to see. Then Dogen Ergen Rinpoche's book that says, as it is. And as I was walking into the dark last night and I thought, as it is, we all can talk about emptiness. And I was listening to, what was I looking at last night? Quantum physics, the theory of relativity, Einstein and Planck and the Bohr, but they're all Buddhists when they speak. You can hear it in their words, even though they may not know it. But Einstein did say he thought one of the relevant approaches to our conscious development during this time period would be the Buddhist philosophies. I think he's right, because even in our scientists that talk about space and time is not that much different from Milarepa's rhymes. So really, you have an opportunity at hand when your own demons, your own shadows and darkness arise. As I said, look within, look and see that, oh, I can recognize there is the light within that will dispel my own self-created darkness. My mind could go on and on. It's trying to just unravel what my experience is now as I am in this, as I said, limited and loose retreat. Take a breath in, and then I did come across something else. Again, I know we have a lot to do, but just mumbling all the time sometimes doesn't change what is in your mind. So again, this is Mundaka Upanishads, Mundaka Upanishads. Then it says, which I thought we need to definitely take, imperishable is the Lord of love. Imperishable is the Lord of love. As from a blazing fire, thousands of sparks leap forth, so millions of beings arise from the Lord of love and return to him. The Lord of love is above name and form. He or she, or whatever definition you wish to use, is defined in all and transcends all, unborn, without body and without mind. From him comes every body and every mind. Here is the source of space, air, fire, water, and the earth that holds us all. So I thought, again, I like this statement. When it says the Lord of love, and I was thinking again last night, wherein resides the Lord of love? You know the answer. It resides within you. That we're being asked and given opportunity to extend and broaden our view, to look within and to open our heart and discover that this quality of love is truly within. Within ourselves we begin. You must love and appreciate one's self. Thus, this first thought, the preciousness of the human birth. I am so fortunate. I walk and I look to the trees, I listen to the leaves and feel the breeze. And I say, I'm so fortunate, I am blessed. I live in this place of seemingly seclusion, but I am not disconnected from the rest. As I walk about upon the dirt, I must think about others. And in my heart, I feel their hurt. And in feeling that, I am moved and I must think, what can I do to be of help to others? So during these challenging and difficult and awakening times, how may we all get through? So I just talk to myself like this. No one else will listen to me. I talk too much, their eyes roll back in their head. It's so funny. So please make use of this time. Even I hear from you, oh, I want to get back to my normal. There is no normal life to go to, back to. The life wasn't even normal from which we left from. There's no normal to return to. Even Abrielle, she knows, she says we must adjust and accept with an open heart to a new normality, a new normalcy. We cannot go back. You'll see there will be no this change. Oh, I want to go back and do this and do that and blah, blah, blah. I don't want to go back. I want to go forward. I always thought, oh, even from a child, I don't want to get caught in locked and holding on to the past. It is just an illusion, something I created from my own fabricatedness. I want to transcend the ordinary. I want to approach the extraordinary. I look to the stars, night light, universe, cosmos, embrace me. Use me as your instrument. I will go forth and speak your words you'll see. Looking to the stars again, I make the wish. Open my mind so I can see. I ask this of you too. But our mind is dull and does not want to expand. It wants to crawl back into its hole and continue. Oh, please hold my hand. No, let go of my hand. I will reach forward and find a way and walk on this path, even though it may be difficult. I will not give up. I will continue and ask others, please find your way. You have an opportunity now. Can't you see? Don't complain. Don't make excuses. Again, Abrielle and I were so much the same. Make wise choices and decisions from courage that rises up through your spine and says fearlessly, go forth and embrace the life with passion. Even, I think, how can we speak to those who may be standing in some barren ground? They have no house, they have no job, they have no car, how to feed their family, how to take care of their kids. What do you say to those people? They don't want to hear some profound falutin philosophy. They need concrete assistance. So therefore, even I think if it's nothing more than generating a positive thought in space that may touch someone else's heart, that gives them some relief in wherever they stand in their place. Be like that. Or you call someone, do you need $10? Do you need $20? What can I do to help you? I will send it to you. How can you really extend a hand now? Which we should have been doing before anyway, but we did not, because our focus was all on how important I am. What can I do? Where am I going? What do I not have? Why they're doing this to me? And on and on and on. Then you think, oh, those who are suffering and who have lacking way beyond me, how can I be so selfishly? I'm not talking to you, I'm talking to me. Maybe they hit your words, I don't know. And already your mind is wandering about and has no focus. Even you sit on your cushion on the floor, you do not hear your heart and allow it to open so you can give more. I was thinking, I love Shakespeare, but I do not want to say his words, but I want to know his mind and how does he speak and how does he rhyme? It is so crazy when you sit for a long time. Now I know, oh, you imagine doing this for 25 years or more? What would one be like when they came out of the door? Perhaps we'll have the opportunity to find out if we continue. As Milarepa said, sit upon the floor. Then I was thinking, focus your mind and sit. Stop wandering around like a flea. Even you sit and you're here and there, you place your body, focus your mind, let your breath descend, the weight of your body to your cushion, the muscling groups release the tension, the chest softens as the abdominal becomes full like that of a small baby. All of the joints open. All of the channels open. All of the portals open. All of the senses expand and open. We are not disconnected. We are not alienated. We're not isolated. A universal divine cosmic connection. My thought to your thought, you know the line. Oh, as Spock spoke them many times. There had some different meaning when you really listen. We're not separated merely by the power of a thought. We are connected. Sometimes I thought, what is faster than light? We cannot exceed the speed of light. I believe 186,000 feet per second, something like that, if I remember. But then I thought, even faster than light is the power of a thought. Therefore, I think of you, please think of me with loving kindness and compassion, joyous and equanimity. In that moment, when you connect, in that moment, when you focus on someone else to give, you're free. Do like this, you'll see, even in your darkness, when you're focusing on your own fears and uncertainties and anxieties, the moment you go, wait, take a breath in, breathe out, and look farther out and see, I must think of someone else who has less than me. Focus on that. Send that energy to them and see really who benefits more. You, as opposed to thinking it is they. I am the one who is benefited when I think of others. It says, what you have, what can you give? The most simplest thing, a smile, a kind word, a thought, a gesture. You can see it now. The other thought I had, and I'll try not to talk so much, my mind is winding up here. There's two fears. There's two viruses that are happening now. There's the relative tangible virus that we have come and fallen prey to, but maybe even a greater one. And that's why we say obscurations, hindrance, the foul with negative karmic action of the past and present, and not disease, but dis-ease. The dis-ease of which we have perpetrated upon ourselves and all of its symptoms that have arisen from the causality thereof, that which now we see the resultant, has come from us, from the deep essence, recesses of our own consciousness, which we have not recognized, as the Upanishads said, that the divine essence of love, wisdom, and understanding and knowledge that resides within. We have looked in other places trying to find it, not recognizing it. It was always with us all the time. I think if we can find that perhaps at least we can begin to dispel the fears. So at this very moment, take a breath in, breathing, sit for a moment, and my fears, my worries, my concerns, the uncertainty, the lack, all those things at a relative level are so real. All I can do is acknowledge them, the feeling of, again, walking from the light into the darkness. I thought last night, and it came to my mind, this is like my life. This is like my death. They're one and the same. I walk from the light into the shadows. And in the shadows, as in life, I was aware and I was present. And in the death, hopefully, I will be aware and I will be present until I am in the light again. But it is always there, moving from the light and moving from the dark, moving from the life and moving to the death. Embrace all. Open your mind and rest. As it said, let go, let be. I said, stop clinging. Death will come to me. Just rest. It is okay. I am human being. I should feel fearful. I should feel uncertain. I should finally recognize it is always a fragileness that I have existed within. The waters of fragility I try to swim, having the falsity of a yoke as I try and believe I'm staying afloat. I'm only been floating about in a current that is carrying me on to the farthest reaches of my destiny. I will find where the path leads. With an open heart, I will go forth with kindness and compassion and see who else I may be of help to. Take a breath in. When the fear and the uncertainty arise, sit on your seat, stop for a moment and look outside. The universe is beautiful. The trees and the flowers and the leaves, they're all blooming now. If one did not know, you would think, how could it be that way? How is it so that we have such suffering and strife and difficulty in our life when we're surrounded by such beauty of nature, even in the night? Breathing in, breathing out. In breath, out breath. Let your eyes lower down to a 45 degrees, looking at the tip of the nose, and let it pass. Gently breathe in through the left and right channel evenly. You feel the abdominal wall expand, and you feel it naturally release. The weight and the stress, which is killing us, has been eroding us. Release it from the shoulders, release it from your spine. Release it from the neural net. Release it all the way, even in your back, down to the base of your spine. Become an open vessel that receives and gives. The channels, let them open. The portals, as we said, and the gates. The more you fear, the more you cling, the more you hold, the denser you become. It is the density that which is closing us down. We become so dense, we sink and fall to the ground. With lightness of light and openness of the heart, you recognize that you are not separate, you're not apart. In that moment of recognition, you stand up. You feel you can fly. Even knowing, as I say to myself, I know I will die. May it be a glorious, graceful death. But in the meantime, I will seek to fly. This is what I ask of you. Not just a mumbling, trying to figure out what you do. As I started to say earlier about the puja, it is not the understanding that will bring you any closer to recognition, realization, redemption. It is allowing yourself to plunge into the wetness of the water of the experience. Enjoy and just be present in the experience. When one sits down to a good meal, which I hope you are having many, when you don't go, I must analyze like a data every little morsel that you put into your mouth and report back and say, this is what I ate, this is what it was made of. You just put in your mouth and you go, that was wonderful. Like we have to do in the Bhutto class, you have to eat your favorite ice cream. And as you eat your favorite ice cream, you must dance the ice cream. You must dance the flower. I talked to me and Florian, we want to make Florian and 2 other or 3 other dancers, we make performance. You must dance the moment, dance the light, dance the darkness, express all the way into your bones. So puja is in your bones. It's the experience of sitting and being in the arena, so to speak, of the vibrations and synchronizing with the vibration that we are intoning with one who is intoning. So therefore, the vibratory quantum signature of these images and of these words, or not separate, but they are conjoined with us, that we're setting up a resonance. So we are out of phase, so to speak, and therefore our realities uh, present that to us. We are out of balance. We have all of these words, but what we want to do doing these practices is start to synchronize so that those waves are moving in a harmonious and peaceful way through space. In quantum physics, space and light is the essence. We are space and light existing in a temporal context momentarily. Gone, but never there. But we are, as it is. It's Puja, that's why he wrote the book, As It Is. Things are just as they are, but we must know the essence of them, understand those things. There's so many concepts that we can comprehend that will drive you insane within. The best thing to do as we're about to start, merely be present in the moment. Sit on your seat. Oh, I can hear Milarepa laughing with his long hair and his white robes, and he says to all of us, open our hearts. Open your heart. Breathe in. Breathe out. Now be still. Don't move. Open your heart. Flower. Blooming. Blossoming. Radiant. The only peace and happiness you will experience is the peace and happiness and joy that lies within you at this very moment that you brought to your seat. Therefore, look within, and from your head to your feet, allow it to radiate from your heart, the crystal and the flower and the moon and the radiant odor and the radiant fragrance fills all of space. Imagine you're touching the heart of every race, of every human, everyone who may be suffering. May they become happy. May they be touched, and may they stop and slow down and not want to continue in such a fast pace. It's a strange statement. We are dying to return to what we were doing before that was killing us, that we didn't know we were dying anyway. It's so absurd what we do and have done to ourselves. But we just go about our way. But I am talking to me also. I am no different in my folly. As I looked to the stars last night and I said, bless me. May I move beyond my ignorance. May I become more wise. I ask this for you too. You have a responsibility. Do not just think about yourself. Who will step forward and be the anchors in the chaos that is upon us that might ensue? We speak about those who think about isolation and sequestration and quarantine, not knowing how to be and be collective and work together as a team. Who will point the way? Who will be the example? Who will tell the stories of how we can look to the brighter day? It is there. All we have to do is to go back and recognize the divine essence, the enlightened quality that lies within you. I think you have to be able to relate to this jumbling and turning and this and that we do, that there's a reason, even though it may be small, it can affect everyone, others and you. So engage in the action We don't always need to understand. Be present in the moment. Experience is at hand. Take a breath in, please. Breathing out. Now you know why we go in the old days, 3 hours, 4 hours, 5 hours. Then all the teachers say, in the West, you can't do that. They'll run away. Rinpoche said once we were looking for a place to build a gumpa. And he said, oh, we should look north, up like by Huntsville. And I said, Rinpoche, if we build a place so far away, they won't come. And he said, don't worry, they don't come anyway. He said, it's not important where it is placed. It is important that it is placed. So even though what we do may be like playing with toys, it is important that the smallest action is done with the greatest of motivation and intent. If a great action is done with a great act, with a great motivation and great intent, then in that phrase it says the infallibility of karma must come to rest. So engage in the actions knowing that at some level, others will benefit. Take a breath in again and visualize all the great masters, all the bodhisattvas and all of the Buddhas from time immemorial, from primordial space and time appear. And we say, most precious Guru, please think of me. Bestow the blessings that will free and ripen my mind, so that I may realize as quickly as possible for the benefit of all sentient beings. Most precious Guru, please think of me. Bestow the blessings that will free and ripen my heart mind, so that I may realize as quickly as possible for the benefit of all sentient beings. Most precious Guru, please think of me. Bestow the blessings that will free and ripen my heart mind, so that I may realize as quickly as possible for the benefit of all sentient beings. Now you say, Namo Lama La Kapsa Jo, Sangha La Kapsa Jo, Cho La Kapsa Jo, Yiram La Kapsa Jo. For those who may be watching who do not know, basic always saying is, I take refuge in the Lama, I take refuge in the Buddha, I take refuge in the Dharma, I take refuge in the Sangha. But just saying that is not important. You have to feel, I am taking refuge. You fall down and hurt yourself and you run home if you could, to your mother or your father or your sister or brother or a friend, if you would. And they go, oh, did you fall and hurt yourself? Come here, I will take care of you. Don't cry, here's a Band-Aid. I will hold you and give you rest and refuge. And we feel so comfortable in our mother's arms or a friend, because we know they have given us refuge. It's a feeling you have within. This is what you must connect to. Don't just mumble words. I take refuge. I make prostrations to Buddha. I take refuge to Guru Rinpoche. I don't have anyone else to turn to. You have to exact the feeling. You do it all the time. But when it comes to something that's truly important, the transcendence, the transformation, the opening of your heart and your consciousness, you don't believe. You only go through the motions, and therefore there's no true benefit. But the moment you engage in true believing, which is at hand, then you will see how things will turn and your reality will shine forth in a different way. I've been working on this concept. They're nothing new. These are ancient thoughts, ancient views. So we say, Namo Lama La Kapsa Jo, Sangha La Kapsa Jo, Jo La Kapsa Jo, Giram La Kapsa Jo. Lama La Kapsa Jo, Sangha La Kapsa Jo, Jo La Kapsa Jo, Giram La Kapsa Jo. Lama La Kapsa Jo, Sangha La Kapsa Jo, Jo La Kapsa Jo, Giram La Kapsa Jo. Lama La Kapsa Jo, Sangha La Kapsa Jo, Jo La Kapsa Jo. And if you don't know this, all you have to do is, I take refuge in the divine essence of the cosmos. I take refuge in the divine essence of the cosmos. In the Upanishads, the Vedantas and the Rig Vedas. The divine essence of the cosmos is nothing other than Brahma. Brahma is nothing other than the divine essence of the cosmos. The divine essence of the cosmos is the love that resides within you in the moment. And that love manifesting as a brilliant light, manifesting throughout all of time and space, will be a benefit to others. Namo Lama Laga Zojo Zenga Laga Zojo Laga Zojo Lama Laga Zojo Zenga Laga Zojo Lama Laga Zojo Zenga Laga Zojo Laga Zojo Gerum Laga Zojo Lama Laga Zojo Zenga Laga Zojo Gerum Laga Zojo. Then, for a moment, take a breath in, release with a sigh. Oh, I have refuge. I'm okay. I spoke with the Dutsen Rinpoche. Then I speak Lama Dawa. I know Jogini, everyone that says, don't worry. You have the blessings of the Buddha. Who knows what may come? What we may contract or not, we don't know. Eventually, something will come. It is the nature of things. But no matter what comes, you have refuge. Good, bad, or indifferent, you have taken refuge. You have made vow, and therefore we will be looked after. I remember reading a long time ago, the Sutra of the Flock of the Birds. Even when the birds come and fly and they seem to be hungry and they have nowhere to land and perch, but when they look about, they can see somewhere there has been food left for them upon the ground, in which they fly down and eat, and they are surrounded. Even the birds are provided by the animals. They do not ask. Food comes to them so easily. Maybe in a metaphorical sense, as someone said to me, stop thrashing about. Sit upon your seat, open your heart, and see what comes and descends upon you. Open your heart, see what comes and descends upon you. Give it a chance. Find your belief within. It is your decision. You believe in many things that have no end. They just continue endlessly on and on without any true happiness or peacefulness. They only unnerve us from within. So you take a vow now. And I was practicing late last night, again thinking, this is what you can do. Sentient beings are numberless. I vow to liberate them. Delusions are inexhaustible. I vow to transcend them. Dharma gates are inexhaustible. I vow to transcend them. Dharma gates are boundless, I should say. I vow to enter them. Buddha's enlightened way is unsurpassable. I vow to embody it. Sentient beings are numberless. I vow to liberate them. Delusions are inexhaustible. I vow to transcend them. Dharma gates are boundless. I vow to enter them. Buddha's enlightened way is unsurpassable. I vow to embody it. One more time. Let the words sink in. Give each word its due. Give each word its weight. Sentient beings are numberless. I vow to liberate them. Delusions are inexhaustible. I vow to transcend them. Dharma gates are boundless. I vow to enter them. Buddha's enlightened way is unsurpassable. I vow to embody it. You are the one who embodies it. It's to embody, to be embodied. Therefore, the qualities in which you have stated lie within. Then I want to go through the verses of the 8 sublime ones. It says, whatever projects that you have, this is the auspicious verses of the 8 auspicious one, to bring about the auspiciousness of the moment in whatever way that it may alleviate the suffering in which we now find ourselves, alleviate the fears. For those who may be new to this, I don't know. And for those who are old and practice as we go, you should think, I do not do this for myself. I am doing those for others who have put themselves in danger, who are out there dealing with those who are sick and dying at this very moment, who are trying to counsel those who are suffering and who have lost everything at this moment. I engage in this practice for them. So I go straight through, not to labor it. Om Nanze Nande Nanze Durbe Daje Doje Sanga Dumba Ye Zange Doda Gedo Babe Do Mala Tazo Taje Taje Do Drame Gelda Zendon Gondon Gon Zanba Deva Dira Baba Gunda Gumba Daje Daba Je Nubo Daba Sadla Dada Deje Dame Gondo Nambe ba yeje jeba zera namba de zonzon dumbe daje babe wa jeba gela zazalo zamba junu baden doje chen re dunwon gumbo dumbe ba seye nimbo dumba namba za namba nimbo bajo dundo dundo bo doje baga no dunda Nugo dowa reje nama ye jaje nana daje baje jo chenjo zimba biela zazalo renjen dojo daje jo yenga donjo bonjo damo gumala nanda dondo bonjo bareru mindo dunzen bonjo dundo de renjen donjo jege jaje jen jodo dewa juje yema Jeto jungo denbe babe we daje namo gila jajalo zamba jumbo de jon jemebo zomo don don gumbo don de baga don de joje nando don de doje gulo don dojo nando doje no do jende do jen jojo ne gele daje jo jende do wa gila jajalo dajen jeje do wa tumba dajen wa jwa do jene dun dun den be dun dun jeje do daje dele bonjon zomba jo. And again, you're receiving the blessing in the form of light. And again, listening to the great theoretics, quantum physicists and theoretical physics, we already know a great moment was put forth when Einstein revealed the theory of relativity, which I listened to it and I went, well, that's what they said in the Upanishads thousands of years ago. Light has properties of particle and wave. We are particle and wave. In essence, the space of light and the light of space that dwells within. Arise to that recognition. Your consciousness must transform and elevate and expand. The evolution of consciousness is at hand. The evolution of consciousness. And as long as we do not evolve into the level of consciousness that is ever present, we will always wander around in cyclical existence, samsara, around and around and around. So we think, I engage in these practices to free and liberate, not just myself, but all sentient beings. So then, this is also stated by Shanti Deva. Gula gumbo ganya ba jinjo jimbo jige son do wa da da do ba yi sange do dange do la jinjo jimbo jige ba da de ge bu ji jara na ze da je be son be jinjo jimbo da sange do ne ge de son be jinjo sange do je na ba da do wa je ne go ba de do de ne go de do wa da sa wa so Jonam Jele Gele Jon, Deson, Zede, Tebeson, Gula Gumbo, Ganyan, Ba, Jidon, Chambo, Tigazon, Gunam Dabda, Samba, Ye, Sange, Dodan, Gedon, La, Chando, Nebo, Tigeba, Daba, Dane, Gabzo, Jishirab, Nande, Danjebe, Sombe, Janjan, Dondo, Da, Sange, Dondo, Negede, Sombe, Jando, Sange, Do, Jeze Naga Nabana, Dova, Jeze Negoba, Jeze Doje Negode, Dova, Dega Selva, so Jonam, Delegate, Dedo, Dedo, Kulaku, Gayaba, Junzo, Jumbo, Degezo, Dova, Dada, Zamba, Sange, Dona, Gedon, La, Chandra, Nebo, Jegeba, Daba, Dane, Abzuji, Juram, Neze, Danje, Zumbe, June, Da, Sange, Negate. Zombe junjo sange do jeze nanga nama na do wa jeze nego ba jeze doje nego ne do wa derga se wa so. All phenomena arise from their causes. Their causes are explained by the Buddha. Cessation of these causes too are taught us by the great sage. With a wish to free all beings, I shall always go for refuge to the Buddha, Dharma, and Sangha until I reach full enlightenment. Enthused by wisdom and compassion today in the Buddha's presence, I generate the mind for full awakening for the benefit of all sentient beings. As long as space remains, as long as sentient beings remain, until then may I too remain and dispel the misery and suffering and the causality of all infectious diseases that bring harm and suffering in this world to other sentient beings through loving kindness and compassion. So yes, I embellish it based on how I am feeling. You also, you say what's in your heart. You say what you desire with a certain earnestness. Then I think I don't know, last night, it had to be yesterday. I make a prostration to the Buddha. And I thought, the Buddha was a warrior. Sometimes we have this idea of the Buddha as all love and light and just sitting there so peaceful. You read the life of the Buddha, the eons of existence and the struggles and the suffering that he went through, that consciousness went through and arrived at and elevated. It transformed, transcend, and evolve. And that's the legacy that the Buddha left. The evolution and the transcendence of consciousness to awaken not to what we see in this fabricated illusionary reality, which is not as what we see. It is only an interpretation that we have bought into and believed to be. The Buddha and the great masters and yogis, they peered through the illusionary delusion of their own creation and rested in the truth of the vastness of their own elevated consciousness. You have that. You can read, I read the Sri Aurobindo, Big Vedas, Upanishads, all of the, they keep pointing us and telling us apocalypse is upon us, the time of awakening, but it has always been there. Look within and begin. Take breath in again, and as the Buddha, you visualize Buddha is right in front of you, imparting wisdom and knowledge and compassion and kindness and health. Dayata omene mene maha mana yesoha, dayata omene mene ma mana yesoha. Dayata mene mene ma mana yesoha, 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 dayata mene. So diadama mene mene ma mene yesoha, 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 diadama mene 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 ma mene yesoha, mene mene. Zumane mene ma mene yesoha, mene mene ma mene yesoha, mene mene ma mene yesoha. Again, visualizing that one receives the blessings in the form of light directly from the Buddha, not just from a historical figure that we visualize above us or look to us. This is only the manifestation of a greater divine aspect. Again, as I told you, looking to nature, listening and feeling. All is Buddha. I think many years ago, this we say, whether you say all is Brahma, Brahma is all, Buddha is all. Not a historical limited aspect, but the ultimate primordial aspect of this enlightened consciousness that pervades, I would say, the whole cosmos. It is not separate from the cosmos. Maybe in some way, consciousness and that universe in which it exists is interlaced, interfaced together. The universe, the multiverse, the totality of the cosmos is consciousness itself. And we are conscious within that context. Therefore, we are not separate, even though we may experience that, but we can experience a totality, a connectedness, and openness. So receiving the blessings of the body, the speech, the mind, and knowledge and wisdom that radiates through the body. Again, going back to, I don't have the flower, but imagine the crystal sits at your heart. So the crystal sits at your heart. And it is not the light without, but it is the light within. And the light within radiates out and merges with the light that has always been surrounded. Light within and light within, light within and light without, one and the same, make no differentiation. You are like the properties. That's why the crystal is used. It is the properties of the crystal that we must become, right? The dance of the crystal. You are the crystal, meaning you are the light, the one that gathers, the one that reflects, the one that refracts, the one that holds, the one that has shape, the one that has coming to being beyond cause, beyond circumstances and situations. Consciousness is the crystal light. Naku Norbu, he wrote one book, really good book if you know how to read it. And I believe the title is The Crystal Light, right? If you read this, many wonderful things that are in there. So breathe in and recognize the lotus, the moon, and the crystal, your flower, the radiant light is going out, the light of loving kindness and compassion for the benefit of all. Another concept I saw, whether the Buddha said this or not, I'm not sure. If you want to know everything, forgive everything. And again, as I was sitting in the late last night, I was thinking to say to you, forgive everything. As I was saying to myself, forgive yourself. We hold on to so many things through many lifetimes, blockages we have. We hold within us our suffering, kilogram. Our suffering or sorrows and pleasures come into being long before we actually experience them. Heal yourself. I'm healing of the past and healing of the present. If I heal the past and heal the present, then I can go forth with an open future of the same quality. In that text, it talks about the infallibility of karma. I want to take the time line by line and explain, what are they saying? The infallibility of karma. I thought last night, if you throw a pebble into a still pond, no how small it may be, it will make a ripple. Heal your past. Know everything. Have no fear. And then as you do that, practice Tonglen for a moment. You draw all of the negative energy without fear, bluish black smoke, draw into the crystal. And then it is transformed, transcend to its primordial essence of emptiness within. And then as you breathe out that light which is ever flowing, the quality of your blessings, your merit, your happiness, your fortune, compassion, and healing. You will imagine at a quantum subatomic level that we change from this veil and blanket of fear. The monster and the demon is eating and stays near. It doesn't mean there will be some miraculous cure, but why not? Should we not think it is possible that we can affect at a subatomic level and a quantum level all of what is happening in what we call our universe, what we call our reality? We create it anyway. Our mind has become so weak and so feeble and fragile. We don't even have the power to truly believe. Summons it. Believe that you'll get through. Believe you do not have to live in fear. You do not have to live in anxiety every day. These are the exact same things I do. Don't think that I don't think, oh, will I get it? Will I not? Take off the gloves, wash my hands, oh, cover my mouth, don't do this. No, just stop. You drive yourself crazy. But I was driving myself crazy anyway with everything else. The channels have closed. We're now in the constrictedness of fear. It is squeezing the planet. How can I breathe and open up? How can I act in responsible ways to be a benefit to myself, to others? If I have to wear a mask, I wear a mask. If I need to stay in retreat for 1 year, I stay in retreat. I already thought maybe I stay in retreat 1 year. Okay? I have so many wonderful people that are helping. It is possible. But I'm sort of, again, someone said, you can sort of feel this constrictedness. Where does it begin? With each and every one of us, allowing the space of our humanity, of our humanness, to come forth with loving kindness and compassion. So sit for a moment and just radiate that. Think of someone that you know that is suffering right now, that is having difficulty physically, emotionally, spiritually. May they be healed at some deep level from within. May their circumstances change and alter. May some good or help come to them that they need. Breathe in, breathe out, Tonglen.
Oh, that's not it.
Focus on the crystal light, the crystalline light, the radiant light from within. Focus on that. Breathing in, breathing out. Okay, pause for a moment. Man, are you still there?
Yes, Rinpoche.
Okay, because everybody just went away. It's okay. Let's go ahead and continue. Then you dedicate the merit, whatever may have occurred up to this point. And again, going back to put it in some context, even though my rattling and speaking about may be boring, and you want to go, I want to mumble and turn the wheel and do the beads. Everything we do is practice. Every action as the pebble into the stillness of the water creates a ripple in time and space. At some level, something, someone, somehow is affected. It is not about us, not about me. It is about how I can be of benefit to others who truly are lacking, truly are suffering, and at this moment perhaps may have died, and a loved one wasn't even there to say goodbye. Lama yeshe geta jojowa, denendese doja jowa so. Deba janye mejaja jowa bonzon zombaja, rene sene yonzo do. Dene senge demba yen. Giwa de nujo do, kunzu zombo dojo ne, loma nyo nyanyo pa. Dene shela gyoba sho. Again, sitting last night, I thought the greatest power and the greatest tool. The greatest power and tool, I always thought, even from the time I was in grade school, is consciousness, is mind. What's more powerful as our human development is to come to the full recognition of consciousness itself. Then that consciousness has created all that exists in this phenomenal world. And therefore, we have this ability to fashion time and space. I know it sounds some sci-fi, but you sit down and you talk to a theoretical physicist. How would it have been to have a conversation with Einstein, with Carl Sagan, or with Stephen Hawking, Planck, Bohr? You create your reality, you create your time. Look at how your time is being eaten up now. I bet you're more busy now than you were before. And you're more aware of the passage of time. If we alter our perception through the elevation and the evolution of consciousness, I think we have a way to begin to alter reality through the causes which we set in place. The great master, Padmasambhava, Guru Rinpoche, could alter time and space. The great yogis, as they said, could stop the sun and the moon and join them together. It's a sort of a way of saying that they could manipulate and alter space and time, within and without. Guru Bema Sidi Hong again Yuji Najan Bema Gezado Bola Najan Joji Guru Ne Bema June Zazura Guru Gando Mabogu Gege Zazu Darugi Jenji Laje Zazu Tamajuge Gula Zuwade, Borie Bemaja Nela Zuwade, Nganzu, Gonzo, Yodan, Yadran, Nege, Yeje, Genja, Pegu, Doji, Jedra, Nezo, Dozo, Lama, Dozo, Jugula Zuwade, Borie Bemaja Nela Zuwade, Midin, and Bed, and Doji, Jambo, Due, Jalaja. Kalangando the gate don't do the Damajo, the Dodonzo, Yamada, the Gulazuade. What again, Bemaja, Nela, so Gonzondo, Zangera, Jira, Jamba, Magera, Mena, Jojo, Jojo, and Gazo, Gada, Amana, Lazo, Wada, Zenbe, Doje, Duneta, Doje, Donjo, Nombe, Dogaria, another Dumbe, Dumbe, Doze, Cote, Coto, Belonjeba, Reme, Ozo, Gelazo, Wada, Jeje, Gudero, Dreme, Ozo, and Dozo, Zalonje, Nange, no Joba. Jemelembe Gelazo, Wada, Dozon, Baje, Dudu, Zangelembe, Kunzon, Jambela, Zowada, Woman, Doge, Bodana, Dozum, Gego, Jego, Ranzam, Duzobe, Zoe, Aman, Amla, so, Wade, Oma, Earlier, I was alluding to the fact of this, the closure, the disturbance of the winds, the closure of the channels, and the inactivation of the energy vortexes within our body. So again, when you go into the more esoteric way of explaining, which is nothing new, that we can begin to look at how to alter time and space within this entity of existence. How do I become more open? Well, I'm sure many people now are feeling closed, that tightness that is arising from their conflicting thoughts and disturbing emotions. It's like they're at war. So open within and through these simple exercises, when they're really explained in depth, we can begin to see perhaps, I'll say, the metaphysics behind it. So with that in mind, you've invoked the Buddha's, Bodhisattvas, lineage, etc. So you say, Om Ahum, Om Ahum, Om Ahum, what's called a descent of blessings. So the blessings descend, and you are aware of your body, and now to cleanse. So we breathe in and out, and out. There's even visualization that goes with this. Breathe in, breathe out. Hold. Breathe in, all negative out. Now come up and touch the heart space. Release. And again. One more time. And out. Then to, maybe we can say, thoroughly cleanse. Cleansing body, speech, mind. Om a e u re re le le e o a ga 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 da 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 ba 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 ma ya la wa sha ga sa ra ja o me da ma hitu ba wa hitu ga ta ha yo a te te sa yun ro wa ye ba me ne ma ha samana so ha. Then we must bless the deeds. Badra Samaya za Bam Om Ritza Ramani Bhavada Soha Badra Samaya za Bam Om Badra Amrita Kundele Hana Ombe. Then we're doing a modified Guru Biche. So you summons Guru Biche, please come and sit, which you were already there. but I'm merely reinforcing by saying, only also to be lama dan litso maybe gunjan jogi gabo lunchunju, duje gazo mejawa maybe gunnan gunginanga, baza sama za. Oh, Guru Rinpoche, your hair should stand up. This Guru Rinpoche is coming and sit with you. You should think and feel this way. Then you can say, Sangye Dodan Zoge Jonamba, Chenjo Badu Da Diga Zuji, Daji Jinzoge Bejo Nami Jola Benja Zenge Jobajo, Sangye Dodan Zoge Jonamla, Chenjo Badu Da Diga Zuji. Daji Jinzoge Bejo Nami Jola Benja Zenge Jobajo, Sangye Dodan Zoge Jonamla, Chenjo Badu Da Diga Zuji, Daji Jinzoge Bejo Nami Jola Benja Zenge Jobajo. Za bang ho zoje na ran la temba de Sanjan Jomje Joa da Doa Gonda Doa Guji Dongyanda Tuye Gonda Doa Guji Donde Mebe Demba Demba Da Medawa Guji Nidinada Dewa Nezebe Mela Demba Guji Sanjan Jomje Joa da Doa Gonda Doa Guji Dongyanda Tuye Gonda Doa Guji Donde Mebe Demba Demba Da Medawa Guji Dewa Nezebe Mela Nambaguji, Sinjan Jamje Dewa Dan Dewa Gunda Dewa Guji, Dunganda Durie Gunda Dewa Guji, Dunge Mebe Demba Demba Da Medewa Guji, Dewa Nezebe Mela Nambaguji. Zazo Nunje Joa Tamje Zoba Tamje Now you should think, I offer everything up. I keep nothing for myself. I give cloud banks of offering. Saji Boji Georgia Major Drum, Reverend Nede, somebody, Sengis in the Medo, Buwaye, Dominant Najo. You don't run no Mandrulaga, Madada, Saji Boji Georgia Major Drum, Reverend Nede, somebody, Sengis in the Medo, Buwaye, Dominant Najo Bajo, you don't run no Mandrulaga, Madada, Saji Boji Georgia Major Drum, Reverend Nede, somebody. Sengis in the Medo, Buwaye, Dominant Najo Bajo, you don't run no Mandrulaga, Neda Taya. If you have your doji, hold up. Now moving in a clockwise fashion. So we go, imagine you're at the 6th, and then you want to go around clockwise and say, Oma Hong Soha. I was talking to Lama Gelik, and he says, we should keep the Vajra tent, which means the protective circle. So I'm sitting on a platform with a double doji, surrounded with 4 posts and like a chain link fence made out of dojis. And it has a canopy that has a half doji on the top. On each post, there's a half doji, and then you can put, maybe the whole seat is sitting on this very strong statues of lions. And I am protected at a metaphysical level. I am protected from the inner virus, my negativity, my fear, my worry, my anxiety. At the same time, I must be vigilant of the outer aspects, so I stay healthy. Then, Om Aum Soha, Om Aum Soha, Om Aum Soha. Then, for Guru Rinpoche, Bhadra Samaya Zaza. Nama je no je lama je Badan Drodro Nama de Begu Gunzon Doje Chen La So Ati Rati Saho. For those who know the instructions, should employ Om Bhadra Argam Bhatam Pupe Dupe Aloke Gande Mewadi Shapta Ruta Shapta Gande Raja Seva She Nama Tata Putsa Ho. Then employ this visualization. Lotus, then the sun, and then the moon, then doji, and in the middle of the doji, the seed hung. And then in a counterclockwise, Om Ahum Bhadra Guru Pamasiti Hum, moving clockwise, Om Ahum Bhadra Guru Pamasiti Hum, filling the body of the deity, radiating out in the 10 directions of space, removing all obstacles, hindrances, defilements, negative karmic action, and disease born of the mind. And then we ask the great Guru Rinpoche Bhamisambhava at a metaphysical subatomic quantum level, alter the vibrations that exist presently in space so that there can be at least an inner peace that will dawn within each and every sentient being. Sumahum Bhaja Guru Bhama Siddhi Hum Humahum Bhaja Guru Bhama Siddhi Hum Humahum Bhaja Guru Bhama Siddhi Hum Bhaja Guru Bhama Siddhi Hum Sumahum Bhaja Guru Bhama Siddhi Hum Humahum Bhaja Bhama Siddhi Hum Humahum Bhaja Bhama Siddhi Hum Sumahum Bhaja Guru Bhama Siddhi Hum Humahum Bhaja Guru Bhama Siddhi Hum Bhaja Guru Bhama Siddhi Hum Bhaja Guru Bhama Siddhi Hum Zomahum Bhaja Guru Bhama Siddhi Hum Humahum Bhaja Guru Bhama Siddhi Hum Humahum Bhaja Guru Bhama Siddhi Hum Zomahum Bhaja Guru Bhama Siddhi Hum Humahum Bhaja Guru Bhama Siddhi Hum Humahum Bhaja Guru Bhama Siddhi Hum Zomahum Bhaja Guru Bhama Siddhi Hum Humahum Bhaja Guru Bhama Siddhi Hum Zomahum Bhaja Guru Bhama Siddhi Hum Humahum Bhaja Guru Bhama Siddhi Hum Zomahum Bhaja Guru Bhama Siddhi Hum Humahum Bhaja Guru Bhama Siddhi Hum Zomahum Bhaja Guru Bhama Siddhi Hum Humahum Bhaja Guru Bhama Siddhi Hum Zomahum Bhaja Guru Bhama Siddhi Hum Om Bhaja Guru Bhama Siddhi Hum Humahum Bhaja Guru Bhama Siddhi Hum So again, going back to this concept, space, light, and the resonance or the vibration or the oscillating quality of a sound. Lotus, sun, moon, Doji, Sisuru Hum mantra, right? Setting this up from within. As it moves, you, as the deity, if you understand that, or creating this internal vibratory relationship with the perceived matter, that we begin to bring into a synchronicity the one who is intoning, who has the experience of that which is intoned or said, that there's no differentiation between those. Om Ahum Bhadra Guru Bhama Siddhi Hum is the essence of all that I have been saying, or that has been said. So align with that and connect to the feeling through your feeling, not through your thinking. Feel that vibration. Rest with openness in that particular, the cause. You're setting up a causality, and therefore the result is assured. But we have to awaken to that. Concentrate. Hold your mind firm. Then we'll do it more like Lama Kazi Rinpoche's way. Now I want you to think that when we go Vajra Samaya Doji Sempa now appears upon your head, because remember, Guru Rinpoche is also a manifestation of Doji Sempa. So Doji Sempa is above your head with the Chamchap Herka and Kunduzumpo, the wrathful deities and the peaceful deities, 52 and 48, have assembled. And in the before Doji Sempa, you are merely restoring and acknowledging the ways you have broken Damsak, but then also restoring and reestablishing Damsak. And again, make it simple. Rinpoche said, to Rinpoche, only one main vow, never separate from Rigpa, which we all break all the time, hardly even having a thread of a connection to something called Rigpa. So the main vow that we must reestablish now is how I have broken Damsak with my Vajra brother, sister, broken Damsak with my teacher, broken Damsak with my practice, broken Damsak with myself and with others. How I have broken Damsak with loving kindness and compassion, joyous equanimity. How I have covered myself with my own veil of anger and of fear and worry and anxiety that has cut me off from the divine essence of the light of loving kindness and compassion that lies within me at this very moment. Think that you are restoring and bringing all these qualities back. Again, we do the short way, but this is really Lama Kazi's way for the sake of time also. Sawaziri me breya zara gama zudu me zidum zirum guru hong ha 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 ho bhagavan samaya satu. And if there's anyone who is watching who doesn't know this, then you can just say Om Ahum, that you're cleansing and purifying and blessing and liberating your body, your speech, and mind as it occurs for others. So was it in the prayer to Then go to where it says the brief fulfillment offering. If you have it, it's part of the ineffable confession. So hopefully you can see how we have abbreviated, but still let's make those our offerings. Now you just envision that we have the couple of the white and of the black tea and of the white, that we have the lamp and we have the tournament. So we have the dutsi and we have the ratna and we have the tournament and we have the candle, and they're being held up and offered for the benefit of all sentient beings. Now we make the black tea offering. We know what this means, the black tea offering. We make Namo Guru Be, Namo Guru Be, Namo Guru Be. Om Shri Minja Heraka, really, really, do honge dene Belgian junior ramyam gam doje gejan sojo do damze yeje yeme doje jo beze damge zorge uru ramyam gam doje oma the home swing over Oze Toye Sambaluge joba jenjelo gyoba jeje nejojo kanzo sumbo jojo ne doba nyonya nyoba dene jela go basho. And I'll take a breath in, please. Breathing out. And again, I know I'm going fast, but the other thing is That's why it says study, contemplate, practice, integrate. In the monasteries and the hermitages and the caves and retreat rooms, they are studying now. They're reading every day. They read every day. Om Bhadra Zada Sama, yeah, and they go like this, very methodical, and they ingrain it into the ear and in the tongue. So the memorization is there because they are familiar with it. You cannot just do once a week and expect that you're going to know anything. You want to become great artists, then you must start with the foundation. You want to become great musician, then you must learn the scales and the fingering and the intonation. You have to learn how to do the play. Again, going back to a statement in our culture, we have come from a place of now at the awakening. You cannot have it fast. You cannot have it quick. It is not cheap, and it does require effort and discipline and perseverance if we're going to achieve. Nothing is just given to you, but if you work in the right way, it will unfold before you. So take a breath in. Let your hands just rest on your knees. Allow yourself to be in that open space, as I spoke of earlier. If you can use that idea again of the crystal and the flower, you can use the idea of radiant light from within, filling your body, filling the space to the farthest edges, if something could be said, of space itself, which has no edges. So it is immeasurable. Let your mind just rest. Your eyes on a horizontal plane. You're breathing gently in and out through your mouth. The flower of the heart is open. And rest your mind. If you like chocolate ice cream or whatever your favorite may be, strawberry, upon seeing it, your eye and your heart, your whole body is in delight. There is no need to try to understand or fight. You don't analyze. What is the chemical makeup? From where did the cow come that gave the milk? And how did the strawberries fall from the vine? You only eat it, and maybe with a sound you experience, and you know it is divine. Therefore, rest in the experience, not trying to unwind, not trying to understand, and therefore strip it of its divine. Rest your mind. Not all perhaps will apprehend this way, and it does not matter. Why does it not matter? Because for them, you will pray. The evolution of consciousness has begun. The great awakening, the wave is now coming our way. Transcend and transform and recognize this present moment. The expanse, the heart drop essence of the great expanse, the great perfection of the heart drop essence of the great expanse. It is said in the title, one understands. The great perfection lies within and without. There is no separation. Now you have a wonderful opportunity to begin. The heart drop essence, the tigli, it means the pit instructions. The heart drop essence of the great expanse. The great expanse is the enlightened quality that lies within your heart, body, speech, and mind, spirit at this very moment. This is the tradition from which we descend. Long Chenpa, Jedma Lingpa, Longchen Ningtek, the heart drop essence of the great expanse. Rest your mind in the great perfection that lies within. Do not pick it like a vulture. Leave some meat on the bones. Savor the flavor and return back home. Rest your mind. Now gently breathing out. Breathe out with a sigh. Then when we say Gyewaji, Urgen Namat Gujune or Urgen Rinzen Rudune, we're just saying, may everyone be blessed, liberated, purified, and cleansed. May everyone recognize this own enlightened consciousness within. And may everyone arrive at the same recognition that Guru Rinpoche, Buddha, all the great masters have shown and given throughout endless time. May they all benefit at this very moment. And through that thought, I think we are being very kind to others and not just focusing on ourselves. So we say, Gilwaji, Urgen, Rinzen Lama, Dujune, Dowan Nanyan, Nandofa, Dineshila Kubasho. Then we do some closing prayers. Je le mega nega do tenju de kambo kundo malone boje je be me je ga do na do ne ba do da ten so then I have to do Dutsun Biche since his blessing. Do be runo do ne no je be sange da wa do ne do je be do je to be ba rene go je do je Tanja Dunde Gumbe Jumba Rana Dumbo Nenzo Sashen. Oh, Gunja Dumbe Dumbe Nije We Nange Gunje Jepete Uji. Umzu de Zenge Ranjenge Gugule Nina Gamdu Nademba Yidema Jugana Jepene Zengo Sundunya de. Drima Meze Guru Gajo de Donangazo Drima Du Guji. Skip. Powder and Megos they done by them. Go you know what they give you why. That's your mother, Johnson, Nundos and Gajo, not your Bajo. Timbe Burger, I may shape it in. This thing was certain your luck. Timbe no, that's your baggy. Tumba your ring, not pay that she do. The two then they pay, Timbe no Jimba, Cedru then pay not that she made. So made them make the passage. Cedru the Zungo Bazing Goji, Chenzo, and Jordan Boje, Market, but not get Goji, but number never. One day, going to Bagoso. That's what I don't wait on dojo. Going on dojo, measure dojo. Not a red part. They make us do that. Somebody on that Tashi Davisho. I don't got it better. Some got it, but it's so hard. I don't know that they got it better. Better some got it, but it's so hard. These are the words from Tolopa. So Tolopa, Noropa, Marpa, Milarepa. Rumpumpa, all the way down to Dupsa Rinpoche, Tukur Rinpoche. What did they say? Don't recall, don't imagine, don't think, Don't examine. Don't control. Rest. Let go of what is past. Let go of what has come. Let go of what is happening now. Don't try to figure anything out. Don't try to make anything happen. Relax right now and rest. These are not statements of irresponsibility or some fantasy fabrication. It is a way to elevate and evolve the consciousness and to open to the qualities of the realized mind that lies within you at this very moment. So we have to come to a stop now. I hope, not hope, I propose to you to enjoy the rest of the day by engaging it with loving kindness and compassion. Open your heart like a flower and do not live in fear. Be a model, be the light in this darkness, and encourage others also to acknowledge what is occurring in our environment now, which we ourselves have created and have the ability to augment if we persevere with discipline, with kindness and generosity. And please be patient, patient beyond what our small ego comprehends or wants to grasp after. It may be patient beyond which is presently being presented. And not with some fabrication or fantasy. I want to go back to things how they were. Things were never how you thought they were anyway. We were living under the fragility of falsity created from our own ignorance and desire and anger. What I'm saying, as Puck said at the end, it is not my intent to offend. I'm only saying this to myself so I can waken from the dream in which I have wrapped myself from my own reality, which I myself have created. Now take responsibility, go forth, have a wonderful day. You must contact someone, you must call someone, you must help someone and bring a smile to their face. Please, would you do that? Can I see heads go like that? This is what I will do. I will get on the phone. I will call someone. I will tell them a joke. Even if they are so sick, they can hold their head up. And you let them know, I pray for you. I am there for you. I think of you. Please, you do this. Have a very peaceful rest of the day. I see you tomorrow. Bye-bye.